Don't you just love fireworks?
Not only did the Chinese invent gunpowder and ultimately the fireworks that we all enjoy so much, but they were one of the first countries to domesticate rice along the banks of the Yangtze River. My sister-in-law is Chinese and she always makes perfect rice. So one day I asked her what the secret was, and this is what she told me. This is a rice cooker. I'd never used one before, but now I have one and I use it all the time. If you love rice, this is the ultimate kitchen gadget to have. I love rice so much that I buy my rice in big 8-pound bags like this. This is a typical rice cooker. It comes with a non-stick inner bowl like this. Usually comes with a little measuring cup and a little plastic rice spoon so you don't scrape up your non-stick surface in there. The great thing about a rice cooker is it's not just for rice. If you remember Roger Ebert, he was a film critic on TV. He wrote a book called The Pot and how to use it. It's all about rice cooking. It's supposed to be very healthy for you to cook so many different things in here. You can cook vegetables in here. You can cook pasta in these. You can cook bread in a rice cooker like this. There's a website online I found that is dedicated solely to cooking bread in a rice cooker. As well as different rice recipes. You can make Mexican rice, black bean rice, tropical rice, almost anything. Instead of using water as a liquid, you could use tomato juice, something like that, or beef broth, anything like that. But today we're just going to go with the basic rice, and then we'll show you how to make the rice pudding right here in the same pot with the rice you just cooked. I find that with regular rice, this measuring cup full like this, and then 2 full cups of water, is good to serve about 3 people as a side dish. So what we do, they always tell you to rinse the rice. I think that's because of processing residues and stuff on it, but also there'd be a fine powdery coating of starchy on there and, you know, make your rice a little stickier and stuff. So we're going to give this a quick rinse and then put it into our rice cooker. Now we're going to add twice as much water as we have rice. So we had 1 cup of rice. We're going to add 2 cups of the water. Now here's the hard part. You put the lid on and you turn it on. Now, this rice cooker, and a lot of them like it, don't have an on-off switch. All they have is this 2-position switch. One is cook and one is warm. So you make sure it's in the down position. You plug in your rice cooker and that's all there is to it. When the rice is done, it will magically go pop and switch that to the warm side. You'll see. And then it'll keep the rice warm until you're ready to serve it. So let's wait until this is cooked. Usually takes about 10 or 15 minutes for that much rice. After your rice is done and it automatically pops over to the warming mode, just take your little spoon, fluff it up a little bit. They're ready for serving up your rice. Now that's great if you're just going to have plain rice. What we want to do is turn it into rice pudding. Here's the trick to that. This is a real simple rice pudding recipe. You can find recipes online. There's hundreds and hundreds of them. Some of them are quite complicated. Some of them involve eggs or egg whites or heavy cream. Some of them are very rich with sugars and creams and eggs and butter and all kinds of things. If you like rice pudding and you're not too fussy about it and you just want some basic rice pudding to eat, this is the recipe, and here's all we're going to do. We started out with that 1 cup of rice and the 2 cups of water. Now we're going to put in 4 times as much milk as we originally had rice, right into this cooked rice. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. You don't really have to worry about this thickening up. It will naturally thicken with the starch that's in the rice, and as it steams down and cooks down. Stir that up a little bit. Now, the amount of sugar you put in depends on how sweet you like your rice pudding. You can always add sugar on top after it's done and you want to start eating it. Essential things: nutmeg. Nutmeg to me is the smell and the flavor of rice pudding. So, again, this is to taste, your own taste. I like quite a bit of nutmeg in it. So sprinkle in your nutmeg. And some people like cinnamon. I like a little bit of cinnamon in it too. Not too much. You don't want to overpower the nutmeg, but you want to give it that little bit of cinnamon flavor in there. So we'll put some cinnamon in too. And to this, I think I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of sugar for now. I can always taste test it a little bit later on and see how it comes up. After you get it all together, put the lid on, turn it back on to the high heat, and again, when it starts to cook down, it will click off automatically. It's a good idea to check it at that point, give it a stir, see if you might want to add more liquid or let it cook longer. If you want it to cook longer, just click it down again. Also, if you like raisins in your rice pudding, now is the time to add them in there as it starts to cook down again with the milk in there. Make sure to stir this often, particularly when you're getting towards the end of it being fully cooked down. If it starts to bubble up too much, just lift the lid to the side a little bit like that, let the steam escape. Make sure you keep stirring it. That'll help keep it from boiling over as well. And there you have a very basic, very easy, delicious rice pudding. Wasn't that simple?